Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now, if you're new here, I'm Gannon. I'm a property investor / landlord, and I'm known for keeping it real. I'm here to give you the reality of what it's like out there as a landlord and as a property investor. So please, before you watch this video, get on and click that subscribe button and click on that follow button. So, a couple of months ago, I started a series on my Facebook, and that series involved vlogging the journey from evicting a tenant that hadn't paid me. And it started off with a problem when I had my rent day and this particular tenant didn't pay. So I tried to contact them and they didn't get back to me. They refused to reply to any of my emails. They read my text messages because I could see they had red receipts on there. And sadly, they just didn't get back to me at all. They completely ignored me. So this prompted a visit. So I gave that tenant 24 hours notice for me to go over to the property and just see if they were still there. So when I got there, I knocked on the door, they answered the door, they invited me in, and they basically said that they'd lost their job, times were a little bit hard for them, they're trying their very best to move things around, they're applying for more work, and they would pay the rent by the end of the month. So the end of the month came, nothing. I didn't receive anything at all. So the whole process started again. I sent him a text message, an email, phone calls, everything was ignored. Gave him notice, went round, knocked on the door, he invited me in, he was still there. And he said that this time he got himself a job and he was working for an agency, and after 2 days he'd hurt his back or his arm or something, I can't remember, and he went off sick and therefore lost his position. So at this point I'm now 2 months without any rent. So I say to the tenant, look, you're going to have to sort yourself out now. I'm quite prepared to help you, quite prepared to put you on a payment plan. As long as you pay something each month, then I'll let you live here until you get your position sorted out and your life changes for the better. And then we can organise the arrears afterwards. Don't worry about that. Just pay something. So the tenant said, okay, that's great. Thank you very much for being so understanding. I will definitely pay by the end of the month. The end of the month came, nothing again. So now I'm 3 months in arrears. Now, bearing in mind that this property is about £450 a month, it's a HMO, that's a shared house. I pay the bills, I pay the council tax, I pay the water, etc. So I've got 3 months now without any rent. I've been really lenient with him. I've told him that I'm going to put him on a payment plan, but he's just completely avoided any action at all. He's just not done a thing. He's just not bothered to make anything happen. So I go back round and again he gives me this sob story and says that it will all get better, and I asked him why he wasn't claiming universal credit and he gave me some excuse about the forms, and he just literally buried his head in the sand. So I said to him at this point, now bearing in mind with 3 months in arrears, if he didn't start to pay, then I would be seeking a possession from the court. And he didn't pay. So I've given this guy now 4 months to try and get himself sorted out. I can't do any more than that. Now, bearing in mind that I am a business and of course I need to make profit. And whilst he's not paying, then, I'm going to be losing £450 a month. I'm not in the business of giving people free houses. That's just not what we do. So we get to month 4. And still nothing, still ignoring my emails. And now we're getting complaints from the household that people's food is getting stolen out of the fridges and things are going missing. So I now have to take action. There's nothing more that I can do now apart from take positive action. So I applied to send him a Section 21 no-fault eviction notice. Now, for those of you that don't know, you have to give 2 months notice before you can even go for possession in court. So I gave him a Section 21 eviction notice and we had the court hearing. So we had another 2 months free. We went to court and it was adjourned at court because of a discrepancy in the paperwork, which is my fault because they couldn't understand the company setup and who was the lawful person that possession should be awarded to. So that was another 2-week adjournment. Went back to court on the 3rd week because it's actually 3 weeks before it got a listing again. And then we got possession. So we got possession in court. The judge awarded 2 weeks. So he got to stay there for another 2 weeks. He also awarded all of the rent to be repaid, which at this point now is about £3,000 or something similar, and all of the costs. So the possession date was, I can't remember the exact date now, but it was on a Friday and it was 2 weeks after the court hearing. So of course we go round on that Friday and he's still there. And I've done a lot of videos on these, so just go through my page and my feed. I've actually done videos of me talking to him and he's still there. And I said, well, why are you still here? The court has told you you must leave. And he's like, well, I'm not going to go until I get the paperwork and this, that and the other. So then I had to go back and apply to the High Court for a warrant. I had to pay another £135 and to get the bailiffs to come out and then forcibly remove that tenant. And that's where we're at the moment. Why am I sharing this? I share all of the reality from the good stuff and the bad stuff on my channel. And it'd be very disingenuous of me to share just the good stuff. So I share everything. Now, property investing can be brilliant, folks. It can really change your lives. But like anything in life, like anything in business, sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes things don't go to plan. So where are we at the moment? As far as I know, he's still there. I'm still paying his council tax, his electric, his fibre optic broadband, his water, his heating, and he's getting to live there for free. Now, what will happen is when we get the warrant issued, the courts will issue another eviction date, and that will be the date that the bailiffs will go out and forcibly remove him from the property, which, of course, I will vlog here for you on my channel. Very frustrating. And this is the file that I've got. Look how thick it is. I obviously won't show you the paperwork, but that's the file that I've put together for this tenant. I've dealt with it myself. I haven't had any legal representation. The only hiccup we had was an issue with the paperwork at the beginning because we couldn't establish who the company was that actually owned the property because of the structure of my business. So anyway, I'll keep you up to date. That's today's update. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the updates to this and all of the other things that go on in my property business. Thanks for following. I'll see you on the next one. So how come you're still here? So I've thought long and hard whether or not I should post this next video. And I have decided to post it because it's very important that you get the real side of property investing and how hard property investing can actually be. So I've done everything to protect this person's identity and the address of the property, so we've got no issues there. But I think it's really important you see the real side of property investing. And after all, this is nothing more than theft. And theft wouldn't be tolerated in any other industry. It's just that people don't see it as theft in the property investing industry. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a comment. So to put this into context before we go there, I know that not everyone will be aware of this situation. So this tenant moved in, I can't remember how long ago now, quite a while ago. And very quickly after him moving in, he stopped paying his rent. So I came to visit him and he said he'd lost his job, but he was looking for work. And I gave him loads of breathing space. I said, okay, well, look, let's try and get something sorted. And he promised me that he would pay a proportion of his rent by the end of that month. Nothing came in. So I went back out about 3 or 4 weeks later, and he again fed me with another story that this was happening and that was happening. And sadly, he got a job, but then he hurt his back or his leg or something. And then he was laid off, so he didn't get paid. So after that happened, I gave him another 4 weeks and then still nothing, absolutely nothing. So I've tried to put him on a payment plan. I've tried to give him time to sort his situation out and he's done absolutely nothing. So we're at the point now where he owes several £1,000s. The court costs, we've been to court, we've got a possession order, and that was granted. He should have moved out on Friday of this week, and it's just costing more and more and more money. So yeah, I can't afford to keep him there. I'm paying the electric, paying the council tax, paying for his broadband, paying for the heating. Enough's enough. So hopefully he's gone. Let's go and have a look. If he's not, it's going to cost me even more money. So how come you're still here?